I want to fiddle with my wadger.
Well, you can't be doing that. This episode of Pistons, the podcast, is sponsored by technical difficulties. For some reason, my microphone malfunctioned for the first 4 minutes of the introduction, and Dad is too busy and too stubborn to refilm the bit that went wrong. If you can get over the fact that for the first 4 minutes the sound quality isn't as good as normal, then stick with it because it does get better. If not, links in the description to the timestamp where everything comes, well, less amateurish in the extreme. Enjoy! What?
It hasn't got to improve much to be better, has it?
No, I'm assuming you don't want to refilm the first 4 minutes of the podcast.
I've got wadgers to work on.
Yep. Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel for another Pistons, the podcast, which has actually become sort of a monthly roundup show for everything that we've done on the channel in October 2024.
Waffling time wasting.
It is waffling, time wasting rubbish. How you doing?
What did that say? FF something, say S. Yeah, crack on grommet, he said.
Oh, FFS, crack on grommet. That's a comment we've had recently. And it's starting to get cold.
It's starting to feel a bit like Christmas.
Oh, can't say that word yet. Is that our delivery? We are awaiting some rack boots for this, but more on that in just a minute's time.
It's coming by everywhere.
Oh, I don't know. It's coming by somebody. Anyway, I want to start today's video with some statistics. And, oh yeah. Oh, here's the postman.
Yeah.
Let's go get it. Live delivery. Well, the couple of time that better if we try. We'll put them there. Right, let's crack on with the video. Let's start then with statistics. And I have got my Office for National Statistics notebook here because I took part in a survey recently. Statistical survey. I've got some statistics for October. You ready?
The National Geographical Society.
No, it's the government.
Ordnance Survey.
The government. And I got a £10.
The government says.
I got a £10 voucher for doing it as well, so that was my rationale. Anyway, October, massive month on the channel. I need to share with you.
English channel.
1,000.
Channel.
1,666. Hang on a minute, I messed that up. 166,971 views in October.
That was all you.
The top video? Have a guess.
Oh, Armstrong Siddeley.
Yeah, proving that clickbait works.
No, the Armstrong Siddeley proved popular in Australia.
Yeah, so I put a video on, it's a death trap. Oh my goodness. I don't agree with clickbait, but also I do agree with clickbait. You can't do that. It comes up on the old microphone.
The hands are cold.
So the top video for this month, clickbait, the death trap Armstrong Siddeley, which gained us 1,333 subscribers, so thank you very much.
Thank you, folks.
We had our biggest revenue month as well, over £300 in revenue. None of that you saw because, well, I spent it on this, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
That's what I call a bum deal.
And now, 12,400 subscribers, so thank you very much. This is going to be my Pistons statistics book, so we're going to fill this by the end of, I don't know, next year.
Anybody out there, I think I'm being exploited.
Yeah, this is not a secret.
Please, somebody out there, come and unexploit me.
For just £5 a month, you can donate to a lonely workshop worker.
I've been exploited.
No, you can't say that because that's not fair. People moan about the fact that you kneel on the workshop floor, you haven't got any carpet down, bad knees. I've bought you a car creeper and a stool. You don't use it. I'll buy you a space heater, but you're too mean to plug the bugger in.
No, I wouldn't do that. If the shed goes warm and cold, your tools go rusty.
Okay, anyway.
Condensation.
Thanks to everybody who has watched videos last month. I hope you enjoyed the Armstrong Siddeley series.
Well, we did.
More of a chat in a minute about that.
Better working on this trash.
We enjoyed it. Right, anyway, we shall start as we mean to go on with what's in the workshop?
Trash.
It's my wadger, which has proved very popular in Malaysia so far. It is, of course, a Proton Impian, which we are going to come back to. Are you leaning against my wadger? No, you might dent it. It's very,
I'm leaning against the light.
very thin metal. Let's talk about it then. The biggest series, Armstrong Siddeley Lancaster. We had the car in the garage for about a month, and we fixed a cracked suspension bracket, not a chassis.
No.
But clickbaity, it was the chassis. Oh my goodness, end of the world. Suspension bracket.
Yeah.
It's all fixed.
Mended.
The Armstrong Siddeley is back in my garage. What's the plan for it for next year?
Sell it.
I'd give over. Although an Armstrong Siddeley Typhoon did just go through auction at Anglia Car Auctions, more about that place later, for 10 grand.
Sell it.
What, the Armstrong Siddeley?
Yeah.
No. I think next year we're going to tackle the radiator. After speaking to a few people, I think we should take the radiator out and give it a good flush.
Okay.
Or give the radiator a good back wash and see what comes out. Because actually it is quite grim in there. And it gives us an opportunity to take the front grille off at the same time and have a look at that.
Sure.
But let's worry about that in,
Possibly been busy next year.
June. Yeah, because we've got hard standing to do. Anyway, so again, thanks to everybody who watched the Armstrong Siddeley Lancaster videos. I didn't expect that because previously, and I put an Armstrong Siddeley video on, nobody's watched it. So thank you. Big in Australia, as you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of folks. I think we shipped a lot of Armstrong Sidleys out there and people have fond memories of them. What else did we do this month?
The Armstrong Siddeley Ute, Bruce.
Yes, Bruce isn't in this video. No. You haven't seen Bruce yet either, but Bruce is coming. We did some work on my Fiat Doblo van with some Dunlop alignment gauges.
We did track, didn't we?
We did some tracking and had new tyres on the Doblo, which is making a funny noise at the moment.
The noise.
No, it's making an engine noise.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll show you at the end of this video. It might be that I've not used my van for a couple of weeks and I've just started it up and it's cold. And then we put new discs and pads on Mum's Hyundai i10.
Yeah, they've seen that.
Yeah, you've seen that, but this we're talking about what we did in October.
Oh.
That's on the channel.
They know now.
Not many people are very...
They've seen it.
Yeah, this is a recap.
Oh,
this isn't what's coming up, that's at the end.
Oh, right.
This is
Am
what
I doing
we've
a Grandpa Simpson moment.
Which bit?
Hey? What we did years ago.
Yeah. So we put new discs and pads on the Hyundai. Not a very exciting video.
No.
I did some spannering.
Told your mum you did it.
Yeah. She's not driven it since.
No. She's using a bus pass.
Because I've decided that I'm getting a lot of flack for people saying, oh, Dad does all the work. Because people don't see what I do. So I've decided to...
That's because he doesn't do bugger all.
To show people what I do as well.
Yeah.
You'll see a change on the channel.
I'll tell you how cold it is, folks. My nose is running. That's how cold it is stuck out here.
It is. And we've only just started. We've got a lot of work to do today.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about it then?
Tell you what I did. I took the door check off the offside rear door on my Peugeot and reshaped it and filed it and stopped it going clonk, clonk, clonk.
Please tell us about it.
It's not very exciting. I did have the door trim off, didn't I?
Oh yeah, and
To do the actuator. Bruce was watching me.
Laid on the back seat.
I did actually take that. I didn't even notice, but it always had a clonk from the offside rear door check strap.
No. Yeah, a donk. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I took it to bits and stopped it. So it's only been doing it for about 20 years.
Good, I'm glad you got round to doing one of your jobs whilst I wasn't here. So yeah, bonus Peugeot update. Hey, talking about Peugeots then, and French cars, I sent you a WhatsApp the other day about a Renault Scenic, is it the RX4 for sale?
Yeah. Just an update, that was a facelift one, wasn't it?
I think you categorically told me no.
The earlier ones, the facelift ones looked uglier. The early ones was just like an ordinary Renault Scenic Colin, but bigger, up in the air.
Yeah, right? But I like the fact that it's ugly. Yeah.
I didn't see many of them.
No Renault Scenic RX4s coming to the channel. I'm very sorry. Can we now talk about it then?
What's that?
The best £300 I've spent this month, or last month. This month.
It's not good for me. It's all right for you, maybe.
It's if you haven't seen the videos, a 2005 Proton Impian. Dun, 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 dun. I've been after one of these for probably about 5 years. They were used by Humberside police. Some of you might have PTSD now looking at this. They are very famous in Malaysia, known as the Wadger. It's got a 1.6.
That's what the badge says.
Yeah, I had to double check. Mitsubishi Orion engine in it. Thankfully, not the later 1.6 Proton Campro engine. But we won't spoil anything because your first reaction is coming to the channel. But we're doing some work on it. It's in the garage.
Having a tinker.
But I could have spent £300 a worse way, couldn't I?
It all depends who for.
Anyway, a new series is coming to the channel, which is this.
Should we break it for spares?
It's probably worth a lot more than 300 quid. break it
Anybody,
for
people
spares.
out there are desperate for Wadger spares?
Yeah. There's one of these, exactly the same year, better model, GLX, than this. This is GLS. And it's got the interior leather seats. Same colour. And it's somewhere, it's like 700 quid. If it was 300 quid, I'd have bought it for the leather seats.
Wadger.
I also need to tell you, I went to look at a Gen 2, same year, 2005. It looks a bit more sporty than this. It's got some awesome Gen 2 leather piped sport seats in it. I'll show you the picture later, and I'll put the picture here. But yeah, them seats. I didn't buy it because it was posh rotten. But again, same colour. I could have like a fleet of beige cars.
I think Mrs. Coupland's going to have put her foot down.
Well, she wanted a pink Nissan Micra that went through auction recently, and she didn't want to pay the money for it. So the Wadger is coming.
Was it a CC?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all were.
It's going to be wet. It's going to be wet.
No, there was all pink.
Proton gifts, thanks to the team Faisal and Ash at Geely and Proton.
We've done that.
In Malaysia. Yeah, I know, again, this is the recap. They sent us some gifts, so thank you to that. And talking about gifts, I've got some gifts for you. We've started to use this, so you're aware of this, but people haven't seen this on the channel. You mentioned in one of the videos, I haven't got an impact wrench. And the team at One Van and HTY Tools have sent us this very kindly. Have a feel of that? You know it.
I've been using it. It's brilliant.
We're going to be doing a shameless review of it in exchange for some free tools. Why wouldn't we?
But we've done some tough nuts with it now and it worked.
But you've used it.
I have. It got the rear hub nut off on the flipping Fiat.
It did.
And it takes wheel nuts off with ease.
What's your initial reaction to the HTY One Van Makita copy impact wrench?
It's better than the one I did have.
Yeah, it is. And it was our favourite price point as well.
It was better than the one I did have.
So expect us to be using this.
Yeah, I use it all the time now. Put spark plugs out,
on
put
the
spark
channel.
plugs in.
So thanks to the team at HTY, One Van, it's actually quite good.
It works.
They're about, what, 70 odd quid?
No idea, mate.
I'll pop a link in the description
works.
if you fancy getting one.
Joking apart,
yourself.
I saw something somewhere and it was a lot more expensive one and it was on an American advert on my phone.
What, the same thing?
No, but it looked a lot like it. It had got this this shape here was the same, but it was a better brand.
I think they're all in...
a well-known brand.
Okay. What, Makita?
No.
No, okay. Well, they're all much of a muchness, these are.
I think it was one of them things that comes from, because it's on your phone, so it's often from America, isn't it? Harbour Freight. People use it's a cheap American brand of tool.
Fine.
But no, it looked a lot like this.
But your initial verdict of the One Van?
Hey, it takes nuts off.
It's good. And again, we weren't going to turn down a free...
I'm blooming grateful for it, because it's helped me a lot.
I must admit, I get a lot of emails, sponsorship. Mr. Coupland, would you like to review an intimate gentleman's hair trimmer? No, because that's not what the channel's about. Maybe you'd like to review that, I don't know. Or would you like to advertise our VPN? No. Or would you like to try these Hello Fresh boxes through the door? I'm not going to sell out like that, but I'm not going to turn down free tools, which are going to help us. So you might think we're a sellout, you might think, whatever. We're going to be honest, and we're not going to do a shiny advert to say, hey, look at the One Van. We're going to just use it. If I was in the
market for one, I should look at this and probably think, no, it's not going to work. But it works.
Well, the same thing.
It works.
If I was in the market for one, I should look at this and probably think, no, we're going to just use it.
If I was in the market for one, I should look at this and probably think, do I risk my money or do I spend more and get a name brand? But am I getting something just as good? I don't know.
We shall soon find out.
Because it certainly undid that hub nut on the Fiat.
Anyway, talking about shameless plugs and things we've been sent and shiny advertising, introducing the... No, let's not do that. This has literally just arrived this morning. And again, it's as if the internet is listening to what we are doing, because you mentioned in a video, I haven't got a impact driver, and I mentioned recently when I was at Costco to Mrs. John Coupland, I'd quite like a little jump starter for Christmas, and lo and behold, the team at GreePro, that well-known brand, reached out to us and said, do you want to try this? Have a look at that.
We ain't got a flat battery at the minute.
No, but they're about 60 quid. It is a portable...
These have got a lot of power,
all-in-one jump starter thing.
Peak current, 3,000 amps.
Well, I want to just...
How much is the peak current on that one?
This is what I want. This is what I want to show people. This is the 12 volt. Oh my goodness! Sealy blooming recharge
That's a big
monster that you've got. These are a couple of £100, aren't they?
And I've four.
Are they? Well, I've got one that's basically smaller than this. It's in my van actually, and it was £150, and it's a bit of a pain to lug about. So I was looking at one of those.
Yeah.
In Costco, I think it was Ring, not Ring Ding Dong, someone's at your door, but Ring, the electrical brand.
Yeah.
And they were £70.
They make jump packs and they make battery chargers and that sort of thing.
So we're going to try that out as well. But I don't know what the ampage is on this.
I was shocked when the box came and I looked at it and thought, 3,000, what's the rating?
Well, I don't know. Where am I looking? Yeah.
It's on the back, I think.
12 volt rechargeable. It's basically got a 12 volt battery in it, hasn't it?
Yeah. This is going to have a lithium ion battery in it, isn't it? That's got a proper old lead acid battery in it.
Yeah.
Big bugger.
I don't know. I can't work it out.
Is that a shufty scope?
Oh, hang on a minute. I'll swap you. Oh, you bugger. Oh dear, now I'm kicking stuff about. Anyway, anything that says more GreePro, less trouble, I'm all about. It's...
You can see, I know when...
It does all sorts of things. Stick that down.
I went across the road with it to my neighbours and I thought...
Put it on there, we'll put this next to it for the rest of the video.
Yeah.
Cool, look at that. Anyway,
that's a pain in the bum to trek much distance.
Does the same job as this, I'm sold.
It probably doesn't do so many vehicles in one go. You couldn't start all the ones on your forecourt like you can with that, but...
But this is good to have charged up
just
in the kitchen, ready to move cars around at Coupland. So, good stuff.
Sounds like a plan.
So that's coming as well. We're going to play about with that. Also on the channel, number one in Malaysia at the moment is possibly the cheapest Proton I've ever bought for £100. It was posh rotten and it's gone and been bang erased. But that video came out.
Did he win any awards with it?
Did I win any awards?
No, did he win any awards?
I don't think so.
Oh dear.
No. In fact, I believe that it conked out halfway round and he parked it in front of the family stand and just let it have a death.
That's a shame.
But if you want to see me hit a Proton with a hammer, check that video out. It's on the channel. Let's talk about Protons then that we mentioned. Released today actually, but a couple of days after we filmed this. I went to look at a fake Proton GTI at Anglia Car Auctions.
Right.
You've seen the walk around video of it. What did you reckon?
A good looking little car actually.
It's a Mitsubishi Colt, isn't it? Yeah. I went to look at a Proton Satria Auto Sport. It was for sale at Anglia Car Auctions and it was no reserve, and I didn't think it was going to get much interest. It looked very good, apart from the fact that it was an auto. It basically looks like...
Their video looked better than yours.
Yeah.
They've got filters, I think, on their lenses. I'm sure they have.
So it looks like a GTI, but it's got the 1.5 Magma engine in, like the saloons that I bomb about in. Not the 1.8 Mitsubishi turbo engine as per the GTI. It hadn't got the Recaro sports seats and it was a different shade of silver. I went to look at it with a view of not bidding on it, but actually it was a lemon and that video is on the channel. It sold for £1,260 and it's actually back up for sale again.
Cars was making good money that day, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, yeah. There were a few things that I looked and went, that's a bargain. And there were a few things I looked and went, really? Such as that Micra C plus C. To me, that was a £1,200 car, and it
What
went
did the
for
Moggy make?
£2,500. The Traveller, about £3,500.
So it wasn't as good as it looked then?
I don't know. I think next time, genuinely, when there is a classic car auction, I think it's January, at Anglia Car Auctions, we should have a look. Go over a day out, have a look round at the viewing days, take the camera and see what we think. Free content. Also this week happening, which is a sore subject actually, is the NEC Lancaster Insurance Classic Car Show.
Oh, why is it sore?
Well, because I should have been there with my Toyota MRT. I was invited to have it on display at the Lancaster Insurance stand, pride of place, to celebrate 40 years of the Toyota MRT.
Of course, yeah.
It would have meant getting the car there Thursday and picking it up Sunday. Not only could I not get the time off work to take it down on Thursday and pick it up on Sunday, part of me didn't want to leave it in Birmingham at the NEC unmanned for 5 days, because it is a special car to me. And people that go to the shows are of course respectful and are interested in classic cars, but they would be able to touch it and sit on it and poke around at it and open it, and I just didn't want to leave it unattended. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I know the response you got, that bloke who was leaning at it, leaning at the door mirror once on a car show.
Yeah.
What possesses somebody to lean on some bugger's car, I don't know.
Yeah. So, at the risk of seeing photographs of it on the internet with someone's child sat on the bonnet or something, I didn't take it to the NEC. If it was a 1 day, 2 day thing and I was with it the entire time talking to people like the Rustival, that would have been good, but I didn't want to leave it at the point where I couldn't monitor it.
Work anyway.
And I was at work, yeah, exactly. I have not been to the NEC, thanks to Matt from Furious Driving, who offered me a ticket for this weekend. But I couldn't go again due to work commitments.
Work.
There's next year. I think we should go to the NEC next year. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we can do your favourite bit.
What's that?
What's coming to the channel? Not stuff that we've seen, stuff that's coming. What's that?
This is coming to
Well,
the
go on then, open it up.
This is coming to the channel.
But open it up so people can't see my address.
You should have put the bit of gaffer tape on like they do on the Homes Under the Hammer. I can't help it if the...
No, that's when they wear designer clothing, isn't it? Or, I don't know, Matalan clothing. We can't have that.
Oh.
This is a little bit of a foreshadowing then, because we have done some work on the Wadger. Coming to the channel in November is a new series, which is the Proton Impian. We've got a problem currently with the front brakes. We've actually been speaking to a man in Malaysia who was design lead of the Proton Impian. So hello to him. Who's given us
to get the opening
some
tools.
advice. Yeah, you go get that then, while I talk about it. So we've got an issue with the front brakes, which we've still not fixed. We've recommissioned the front brakes. We've still not fixed the problem. And clearly we need some new drive boots. So they're coming, and now today, after we finish filming this, we're working on the back. Have you got it open yet?
Well, no, because I stopped to listen to the trash you were saying.
They're not drive boots, are they? Go on, correct me. What are they called?
Got some rubber wedges
Oh, they're
for it.
steering rack gaiters, apologies.
They look right, don't they?
I'll sit down and have a look.
None will do. I'll show you in a second. When I get my tape measure.
Well, hang on a minute, we measured them to be 45, 12, 170. What are they? Also, people shouting at me for buying naff parts. Borg and Beck's good parts, right?
Used to be.
John, hopefully that's good enough for you. Borg and Beck parts.
45, sort of 45-ish.
Do you know what? They look right for a Proton Black Knight.
They do, don't they? Yeah, they do.
So now we know the product code. I had to do a lot of digging on the internet to
They'll be
find
better
out
than them blooming
the proper ones. Effectively, Proton fitted them to 8-valve Magmas right the way up to the Impians and Gen 2s.
Yeah.
Those are the steering rack boots.
If these are the right thing, you ought to get some in stock.
Those were,
A bargain.
I think, what, £14 for two?
Yeah.
For a kit. There are people on eBay selling them for Proton, you know, with the actual, this is for your Proton, this is for your Proton, and they're about 25 quid. I did some proper detectiving works and found out the actual Borg and Beck model number and ordered some generic ones.
God willing, these will be the right thing for this.
We'll soon find
out today.
But that's coming, and the work on the rear brakes. And also coming to the channel, I got scammed.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, kind of. Out of 250 quid. Because the worst Proton I ever bought is coming to the channel.
All right.
Let's not give too much away.
All right.
But I paid £250 for a Proton. I got it home, and, well, it was bad. Not worth £250. So watch that video when it comes, please, because it helps me pay for the...
I ain't even figured out which one you're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you. It was one as part of a 6-car Proton collection.
Right.
But I paid 250 quid for it, basically, and it's no good. Anything else you want to talk about before we end?
No, I want to get some blooming
Pistons.
I want to fiddle with my wadger.
Well, you can't be doing that. So just to recap then, massive month last month, October. Thank you ever so much to everyone that has watched the channel. Thanks to everyone that's subscribed. There is a lot of support for the channel, so thank you. In fact, actually, there's a lot of support for you because you're the genius. Rapidly growing as well. So for two blokes in Lincolnshire talking nonsense in a shed, we're doing well. Thank you very much.
It's you're the one that talks the nonsense. I fix the cars.
I talk the nonsense and put the
Modern
nonsense
slavery.
on the internet.
I've been reading about it on the internet.
Is that your Section 45 defence?
There's a helpline for it as well.
Yeah, well...
A bit like Childline, there's Dad Line.
I shall...
Hello.
I shall complete the NRM on your behalf. Anyway, what's in the workshop, what's coming up? Proton Wadger and lots more stuff.
Have I told you about the scammer that I got onto? No, I haven't, have I?
Keep it clean then.
It was clean. I was polite to the gentleman. I'm not going to do the accent because that's not nice. But he was definitely not called Austin.
Oh, right, okay. Would you say he had a...
I would have thought Austin was probably a name he's got off the internet. And I goes, oh, hello. My name is Austin. Oh, Austin Montego. I had one of them. They were good cars.
No, they weren't.
What can we do for it? What do you want, Austin Montego? I'm ringing about your Sky subscription, which is about to expire. Is it? Oh, well, tell me more about it, Austin Montego. Is your television working okay? Oh, what do you want to know about my television for, Austin Montego? Just try your television, see if it's working. Well, no, I'm not going to bother because I haven't got Sky and you're just trying to scam me. So do not ring me again. Do you understand? Do not ring me again. And he went quiet. He didn't hang up.
Have you had any further phone calls from Austin?
No.
No, good.
Austin Montego.
Good.
But the best one I've seen is the lady pretending to be an Alexa when a scammer's on the phone and he's asking her to turn her Alexa off. Oh. But she's not. She is actually. And then Alexa says, "You cannot turn me off. I am immortal."
Good. Well, thank you very much for watching.
Anyway.
Thank you for this time wasting waffle. What's the plan for today?
I want to see if these blinking things fit.
We're going to play with the Proton rack boots.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed the video, thumbs up please, comment down below. What do you reckon? What did you reckon to the Armstrong Siddeley Series? Did you watch it? What do you reckon to the Proton Impian? 300 quid, I think we've got a bargain. Have you tried any of these bits out? We'll put a link in the description to this as well. I've actually got some more stuff coming, but that'll be in the November podcast. I'm
intrigued to see. This looks like several you see on the interwebs.
Including something with a 16, is it a V16 diesel engine?
I don't know about that.
More on that later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video. Comment down below for the algorithm, for the engagements. That's what we need. Until next time, see ya. Thanks for watching this latest episode of Pistons, the podcast. Another one is coming shortly, but if you haven't caught up yet, there's previous episodes on this page now. And don't forget to hit subscribe to always get caught up with the latest podcast.